Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for another video today. I wanted to talk to you guys about something that happened to me a couple of days ago that I feel like is really important to talk about and to warn against what could happen when you don't eat, essentially. I know that with Mounjaro, Zepbound, Tirzepatide, a lot of us sometimes aren't hungry, and so we don't eat unless we get hungry, and I'm guilty of that, but I definitely learned my lesson. You know, it's been almost 2 years now, and I've been telling you guys that you need to eat and not skip meals and make sure your blood sugar levels are good, and it finally hit me as well as, you know, I have learned a lesson. So let me tell y'all what happened. We went, as I mentioned in my video earlier today, we went to the Great Wolf Lodge on Monday. So this story happened on Monday, and then we stayed the night Monday night and came home yesterday evening on Tuesday. And we got to the Great Wolf Lodge at like 11-ish on Monday morning, and our room wasn't ready yet, so we checked in, we got our wristbands, and we went ahead and went down to the water park. Now at this point, I had actually not eaten anything, which is not abnormal for me. If you've been around, then you know that I don't eat breakfast, and that is a long prior to Mounjaro thing. Like, I've honestly never really eaten breakfast in my life. I'm just not, like, randomly here and there I will, but I don't eat breakfast. It's just not something that I do. But I do typically eat lunch between like 11 and 1-ish. That's usually when I will have my first meal of the day. So we get to the Great Wolf Lodge around 11, and you know, we get everything settled, we get towels, whatever, and the kids want to go ride water slides. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. There's not a line right now. There's not a lot of people. And like, for once, I decided to be the cool mom and go ride the water slides. Like, literally, I never ride them because I get motion sickness pretty easily. And a lot of the ones make me motion sickness if they're like in a tube and it's spinning around. So this time, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna be a cool mom. So I go and we ride to the same water slide twice. We rode it once with just me and Bryson and Kylie, and then we went again and rode it with Chris and Finley. And we start to head up for the third water slide, which was a different one. And I am carrying a double inner tube. Me and Finley would have been riding in this water slide together. And so I start to go up, and I was feeling like fine, absolutely fine at the end of the second water slide. Because if I wasn't feeling fine, I wouldn't have gone up 15 flights of stairs to go down a third one. Like, I'm the type of person that when I start to feel like motion sickness or whatever, I'm done. I'm checked out, goodbye. But I wasn't feeling anything. So I decided to go on one because Finley, this is the first time that she's been tall enough to ride the ball. She wanted to ride this water slide. So I get a double inner tube and I start walking up the flights of stairs, and I make it up like 1, 2, 3, 4 flights of stairs. And we're standing there in line, and all of the sudden, like literally instantly, I start to feel really bad. And when I say really bad, I want to tell you what happened. So the first thing that I noticed is that I got nauseous, and it kind of felt like motion sickness, but not exactly. Like, it was a little bit different. So I started to feel nauseous. I got really hot, like sweat pouring down my back, hot. And those are the first 2 signs. And again, I was just like, okay, maybe this needs to be the last slide that I ride. It'll be fine. I stood there for a minute. We're in line at this point, so we're not walking up and down stairs. But I am holding this inner tube. Bryson and Kylie are in front of me, and Finley is standing next to me. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't hear. Like, my hearing was like muffled, and my ears felt really full, and I'm nauseous, and I'm hot, and I can't hear anything, and I'm looking around like, what the heck is going on? And again, I was just like, okay, deep breaths, I'm okay. Close my eyes, taking deep breaths, and then my vision went black. And that was very scary. Like, at that point, I don't know what I was thinking in my mind. I don't know why I didn't just sit down and like wait for Bryson to go get Chris or something to help me, but I didn't. I looked at Bryson and I was like, I can't ride this ride. I have to go. So then I tried to walk back down the stairs. So like 4 flights of stairs. I'm trying to walk down them holding an inner tube while Finley is following behind me crying because she doesn't get to ride this water slide. And I remember when I went down, like the first set, there was a landing and somebody said something to me, and it was a woman. That's all I remember. There was a woman standing there and she said something to me, and I'm like wobbling, like I'm like falling. I can't stand right. Like I'm like this, you know, like wobbling. I'm holding this inner tube and I like leaned up against the pole, and then I like caught my balance and I was like, okay, I got to get downstairs. So I went down another flight of stairs. And at that flight, I'm pretty sure I knocked like 14 people in the head with the inner tube, because I was still carrying it at this point. And I'm just like, there's 2 lines. So the way it works is like this side goes to this water slide and this line goes to this water slide. And I was trying to go down the middle of them with this big inner tube. I'm positive I whacked like 14 people in the head with this inner tube, but I don't remember anybody saying anything, like yelling at me or anything. I was saying to Finley, like, I'm sorry, I don't feel good. I can't ride this water slide. I know you're upset. Like I kept saying that to her, like, I don't feel good. So maybe people were hearing that and they were like, okay with the fact that I was whacking them in the head with an inner tube. I don't know. But I made it down that flight of stairs, and then I had 2 more to go. No, 3 more to go. So the first one didn't count in the 4. The first one was like halfway up. So I still had 3 more flights of stairs to go. And so I made it down that flight. And then I was more towards the bottom, and I knew that Chris was right at the bottom because he was going to watch us come out of the water slide. I knew he was sitting there. And so I started screaming, Chris. And so that's what I remember. Like my vision's black. I cannot see anything at all. Like it would come in and out. And I was screaming for Chris. Like every 5 seconds I was saying his name, and he obviously wasn't hearing me. There was so much noise, but I was just like, Chris, Chris, and I couldn't hear anything either. So maybe people were saying things to me that I just couldn't hear. And I made it down another flight of stairs, I think, without falling. I don't know for sure because I can't really remember that, but I made it down another flight of stairs. And then the next thing I remember is like coming to, like my vision focusing, and there was a little girl in front of me, like literally, like I'm right here, she's right here. Like I open my eyes and there's a little girl, and she has this terrified look on her face. She's probably 6 or 7. She has this like terrified look on her face, and Finley's standing right next to me right here when I come to, and I'm sitting on the landing between like that flight of stairs and the next flight. My inner tube's next to me. I dropped it, and she said, "Are you okay?" And I was like, yeah, I just don't feel good. And she said, okay. And then she sat there for another minute, and I thought we were blocking her. I thought she wanted to go up. And so I was like, Finley, move so she can go. And then she said again, like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. So she goes up the stairs. And then at that point I left the inner tube there. I was like, I can't carry this anymore. I'm gonna die if I try to carry this anymore. And I stood up, and I went down the remaining 2 flights of stairs, like all in one. And Chris was sitting there. And when he saw me, he was like, what the heck? And he was sitting in a chair. And so I just was like, get up. And I sat down, and I sat there for a minute, and like pretty instantly started to feel better upstairs because, you know, heat rises obviously, and they have the heat turned really high in that place. It was hot. And I think the combination of how hot it was and the fact that I had not eaten anything all day, I think was a really bad combination. And honestly, I think that I was passing out. I have never passed out before. And so that is why it was so scary to me. But I've never passed out in my life. But, you know, when I called my mom, who's a nurse, she was like, I think you were passing out. And, you know, you guys let me know down below what you think as well. And I think I did pass out. I think when I sat down on that other landing, I don't know how long I was out for. I do know that Bryson and Kylie were still pretty far back in the line. Like they had several people still waiting to go on the water slide in front of them. And by the time I made it down the stairs and sat down, it was only like literally they came down the slide. And so I was at that spot for a good portion of time, I think, before I came back to. But so I went down, I sat in that chair, and then once I felt okay enough, I walked back to our table to where we were, and we had brought like a Gatorade and a like Z bars and stuff. And so I sat there and I drank a Gatorade and I ate a Z bar, and I started to feel better. So I think that my blood sugar bottomed and my blood pressure bottomed out because of the heat and of not eating. But I have done several videos on like sort of my tips and how to avoid side effects and all the things over the course of the past 2 years. And one thing that I always mention is that you have to eat. And then, I did the one thing that I tell y'all not to do, and that is to not eat. And I think that having not eaten and then going and trying to repeatedly walk up 17 flights of stairs and go down a water slide and carrying floats around was just too much physical activity for literally not having eaten anything. And honestly, the day before on Sunday, we had eaten like super early in the day. So I hadn't eaten in probably 18 to 20 hours at that point, besides coffee. And I just want to issue this as a warning of what can happen. And I never thought that was something that would happen to me. Like, that's never been an issue for me before. And yeah, it really scared me. Later that night, I was laying in the bed in the hotel, and everybody else was sleeping. And I was thinking, it kept replaying in my mind and what could have happened. Like, I could have fallen down a flight of those metal hard stairs and hit my head and broken my neck and died. But I didn't, by the grace of God, and I'm so glad that I didn't, obviously. But it could have been really bad, and I'm really thankful that it wasn't. But take this as my warning to eat. Even if you don't feel hungry, even if it's been any length of time, drink a protein shake, eat a Z-bar, eat a hard-boiled egg, eat something, please. I know that when we've been living a life, our whole life, where we are always hungry and where we can't say no to food, I know that it feels really freeing to be able to control what we eat, to be able to decide when we're hungry and when we're going to eat. I know that, like, I've been in that position my whole life. And so sometimes it's hard to force yourself to eat something when you're not hungry, and when you also have the food noise in your mind turned off, when you just don't want anything. But take it from me, that could end very badly for you, as it almost did for me. And so I just wanted to share that story. I try to keep it real with you guys. I am not perfect. I'm not a doctor. I'm not by any means some professional. I'm just a girl who is taking this medicine and trying my hardest to lose weight and live a healthy lifestyle with it. And what I did was not me living a healthy lifestyle on this medication. And we got to be smart. We got to eat food. We got to be smart. We got to do the things that we have to do to take care of ourselves. We can't go to the opposite spectrum of not eating anything and making our bodies weak and fragile and frail to the point where we could pass out on a water slide. I and we all have to find a happy medium. And yeah, I feel like I do a pretty good job of that most of the time. You know, I eat food. I'm, for the most part, maintaining my weight. I eat healthy options most of the time. I would say I do probably an 80-20 type of split. And I do great, but I fail, and I failed. And I wanted to share that with you guys, and also to warn you of what can happen and to plead for you to eat. It was very scary, and I'm very thankful that I did not fall down the stairs. Finley also, who is 4, and it was slippery, and these metal stairs, did not fall down the stairs when I couldn't be the best parent for her and helping her. Happy to say Bryson and Kylie made it down that water slide. Neither one of them batted an eye. I don't think they realized at that time what was happening. I think I just said to Bryson that I didn't feel good and that I couldn't ride the water slide. I didn't like say what was really going on because I obviously didn't want to scare him. So when me and Finley left, Kylie and Bryson stayed in line and rode the water slide together, and that's fine. They probably didn't need to see that, but maybe it would have been nice if somebody bigger than Finley could have helped me down the stairs. But again, like, I want to protect them from seeing anything bad like that anyway. So what can you do? But yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope that you can glean something from it and don't do what I did. I also posted my like weekly weigh-in update today as well. I think I posted that one first, so you can go and check that one out if you have not watched it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Well, no, I don't hope that you enjoyed it. I don't hope that you enjoyed hearing about how I almost died. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Have a great day, guys. Bye.